Here's what I tell people that are, I mean, the simplest diet of all is the carnivore diet. And that means all red meat in general, because I've never heard of anybody being allergic to red meat. It's very non-inflammatory. And I just dare anybody to eat. If all they eat is just plain red meat, I dare them to eat too much.
No, I've had a couple friends, close acquaintances that have done it, and they had phenomenal results. And I have a little funny story. I was down in Southern California on the vacation, and I was walking on the beach, and this really tall guy was walking his dog with his daughter, and I was like, man, that guy kind of looks familiar. As I get closer, I'm like, that guy looks real familiar. And as he walks up, I'm like, hey, are you Dr. Shawn Baker? And he's like, yes, I am. So I know the carnivore diet. One of the biggest, proponents of that. Yeah, really cool dude. You spend time, spend a couple, 5-10 minutes talking on the beach. It's cool.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of interviewing him on our podcast. Oh gosh, it would have been about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
He lives in Washington State now. He lives on the west side, and I don't usually get over there, but I'd like to, actually meet him in person. Yeah, big proponent of the carnivore diet. Everybody look him up. Shawn Baker was on Joe Rogan podcast probably 6 or 7 years ago. He's been carnivore for over 7 years now, and he's 56 years old. He's ripped. He's in great shape, best shape of his life. I think another thing it talks, that we can talk about, Matt, with that is that, when I grew up in the 70s and 80s, red meat was vilified, and it's still vilified now from traditional doctors, which are just ignorant. I had a doctor yesterday tell a guy that he should stop eating red meat, and his wife asked me what I thought. I'm like, that's the most ignorant thing I've ever heard of in my life. I mean, seriously.
So, yeah. If I had one thing only to eat for the rest of my life, it would be red meat.
That's me.
Because it has the most nutrients. It's going to give you everything you need. You're going to be strong. You're going to be, have vitality. You're going to get everything you need. My base diet right now is, sometimes I don't get it all in because of my schedule, my kids and everything else and shit. And sometimes I just don't have the appetite. I just don't want to stop and eat. I'm just like, I got to get this other stuff done. Is 3 pounds raw. I cook it, obviously. 3 pounds raw of 96.4 beef a day. Like, beef is where it's at, dude. I don't care. Right. It's not okay. Yeah, if you eat a Burger King patty or a McDonald's patty with trans fats and shit, yeah, you're lowering testosterone. You're fucking your heart up. Your cholesterol levels are all getting out of whack. If you're eating real beef, and you don't have to trip on it as long as it's not like some just crud. And the thing is, I eat lean beef. I'm eating the 96.4 Trader Joe's is one I go to because it's nationwide, and wherever I go, I can find it. And so like the thing is too is like you need saturated fats. You need them for your hormone, especially if you're natural. You need them for hormone production. Like cholesterol you need. People are always like, tripping on their cholesterol. I'm like, okay, go have a cholesterol-free diet, have a non-hormone environment in your body where you can't produce any hormones and you feel like shit.
Right.
And the thing is like so I argued with my teacher in college in nutrition, and it was because of the food pyramid. And when we talked about protein intake, we're talking about, it's 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, or it was a kilo. It was a kilo. So it was like I was supposed to be eating like 88 grams of protein. I told her I was like eating like 350, something like that, ballpark. And she's like, oh my God. I'm like, and I wasn't trying to be a dick, but like, I was also like, I'm 245 pound college football player kid. And I'm like, not fat, like you're a 300 pound. I didn't say it, but I'm like, you're 300 pound, 5'2" nutrition teacher preaching. I was like, so what's our obesity rate risen since we instilled this new food pyramid? And she's like, a tremendous amount. I'm like, okay, can we just stop then arguing about this right now?